Well, everyone, this is our day, Monday, 29th of April. We are getting bonus sun. I can't believe it because it was supposed to be... Anyway, you didn't sign up to listen to it. Today we had a great start. We had a very fiery question and answer time last night. Every evening so far, there's been an optional question and answer after the dinner, just for 1 hour. And we have our 3 tutors at the front, and this time, because there were a lot of questions coming after our afternoon and morning exercises, very well thought out, just to say, why don't you put your questions on the whiteboard and then we'll get to them in the evening. So a few people put questions up on the whiteboard, and when the evening time came, questions were really great. It was engaged. I think the crux of however it ended up between all the technical questions and all the other topics that came up, it was the whole point of what is the field? What are we doing here? This is a facilitator training, and we got some stern talking to from one of the tutors who said, I don't want to compare, and I've only just met you all, but I must say, compared to last year's training, there's so many missed opportunities here, and instead what I see are cliques and people with the people they like and not reaching out. Last year the group was at every break, at every lunch, collaborating, creating events, really, I suppose, cross-fertilizing, and anyway, it was a lot more incisive the way this kind of feedback came to us last night, and it fired up a few who were vocal about being enthused, and it seems to have had the effect of just re-energizing and just refreshing, hit the reboot button. And this morning, the morning practice at 8 a.m., 8 to 9 a.m. involved, I wish I had mine here, honk honk, it was a red clown nose. Everybody had one, and we had a load of games that we played, including breaking up later on into groups of 6 and creating things. For example, the first thing that we had to create together was a vehicle, something that moves. Bonus points if you can walk, if you can move, if this thing moves. So, and then, I don't know, the next item was, I can't remember, but it was, anyway, the last item was a sex toy. So this was great fun, and then we went into the meat of the day at 10 a.m. and this involved Christian asking us if we were interested in just saying that this is going to be a little bit more gravitas to it. It is going through the 7 ranges. I'm sure he said 7. It ended up being 8 anyway, ranges. So he said, because this has come up, even though the theme of this module 2 is the conscious heart, or something like that, he said what is coming up and people are really jumping on and seem to be really energized by is narcissism, shadows, dark places. So in the spirit of this, he was proposing, or just inviting us, if we were interested in getting involved in exploring our ranges, and that would mean that we would be embodying them. So we got into the groups that we were in yesterday, 5 people with 1 assistant to each group, and what it involved was each of us numbered ourselves. So like I was number 5, and there was and I was the last one. The assistant didn't participate in this part, and it involved, when he called out the range, you'll be told what this is in a minute, then we had 3 minutes or 20 or 60 seconds, I can't remember, to totally embody it. But the rule was we were not to look in anybody's eye while doing this part of it, and nobody was to look directly into our eyes. So the first range that was called out was the bitch, or the asshole. So what is this inner bitch or asshole? This totally unpleasant, rude, horrendous persona this shadow that lives in you. And we were to embody it for 60 seconds. And at the end of it, when all 5 of us had gone as the participants, embodying the same thing, the same range, but in our own unique way, either verbally, but more like, it was loud. There was a lot of different participants emoting, expressing in dramatic ways, and to really turn the volume up on this, not to be polite or pussyfooting around, but to really turn it up. And I could see, well, from my experience of doing Dark Eros, when you own your shadows and you own these personalities or ranges in this case, then you're more aware of when they step in and they're in the room with you when you're facilitating and leading groups or even private clients. So what were the ranges that we got to play today? It was the bitch or the asshole. It was the victim. It was the kind of like a child aged tantrum getting your way. It was the arrogant narcissistic one. There was the kind of a whore or perpetrator range. There's a few more. Oh, jealous. And there was also killer, murdering somebody. It's interesting. We were told we will be speaking about this later and why it's relevant and why it's being included here. And the evangelist. I don't know if I covered 8 there, but anyway, you get the idea just from that handful of examples. And that wasn't the end of it. So after I, as number 5, did all 8 of those ranges, and of course all my pod colleagues, being 4 others, did it all. Then we had a break, and then we came back in, and the next part was we were going to have I can't remember what it's called, conscious gossip, but in turn we were going to leave the circle and sit on the outside, and then the rest of us remaining were going to talk about them as if they weren't there, about what we really wanted to see, where we couldn't really feel them. So in other words, where were they strongest and weakest, what we liked about it, what landed for us, what didn't. And then, as if that wasn't enough, then we were to come back in the circle and then give it wasn't even 60 seconds, I think it was 20 seconds, very short, maybe it was 60 seconds, a highlight reel, what we remembered was said about us when we were outside the circle. So we've had quite a full morning. It's been really energized. We've also had a change in kitchen staff, so we have different sort of flavor of our nourishment today. And it's sunny. What a bonus. I'm so delighted we get to have this today. And I'm wondering what the afternoon's going to bring. I've enjoyed playing Frisbee for the past 2 lunchtimes. Past 2 days. When it was on the menu that we'd be having our Frisbee tournament, nobody really wanted to play. So I'm going to go for a nap and then go for a walk and then be ready for afternoon sessions from 3:15 till dinner. So that's my little report of the fields today on Monday. A few of us are fretting over return plane tickets and transport to the airport, and I'm one of them. So there's all that to sort out as well. But meanwhile, feeling good, feeling energized, feeling the stuff moving. And as David Cates said last night, what are you here for? You're being a facilitator. Where's that fire? Where's that passion of what are you willing to die for? What are you willing to kill for? These things that are so important that you couldn't live without them. The topic of your business, of your facilitation trajectory, of your private business, clientele, all of this, your mission in life. So feeling energized by that, and looking forward to what the evening brings tonight.